Hey, this is Dave. Welcome to Dave's Hunting, Shooting, and Bushcraft, Dave's HSB. And today we're going to be shooting the Galil ACE Gen II. And it's chambered in kind of an odd, well, probably not as popular, 5.45 by 39. So stick around and see how it goes. I know that some of you don't like all the blabbering about the stuff, so the history of the weapon. So what I'm going to do is I'll make sure to put chapters in, so you can just advance to where if you just want to see it shoot, and you can do that. Hey, this is Dave, and like the intro said, we're out on the range. We're going to shoot the Galil ACE Gen II. And so let me talk a little bit about this weapon, but first let's talk about the ammunition that we're using. So not so much the brand, but because they're both Eastern Bloc manufactured, but the chambering. So the Galil we have is chambered in 5.5 by 39, and that's this bullet. My AK, in comparison, is chambered in 7.62 by 39. That's that bullet. You can see the bullet's heavier, but the amount of powder is about the same. So, and we'll see that in talking about the specs here in a minute. TulAmmo for the Galil, and Wolf is what I'm using for the AK, but we're not shooting the AK today, but just the Galil. So the Wolf ammo has a muzzle energy of 1,588 foot-pounds, and leaves the muzzle at a velocity of 2,402 feet per second. Compare that to the 5.45 by 39 that the Galil is shooting. So it has a muzzle energy of 1154, just a little bit below what the AK's does. But the velocity, 2,936 feet per second, which is better than, or a little bit higher, not a little bit, quite a bit higher, like 500 feet per second higher than the 7.62 by 39. So yeah, because of its speed, the 5.45 by 39 is a straighter flying, a bit more accurate. In fact, let me get the name of the dude right. This let's see what about that. Oh yeah, this bullet, the 5.45 by 39, was called the poison bullet by Mujahideen in Afghanistan during the Soviet-Afghan conflict, and they called it the poison bullet because of the amount of damage it would do on the soldiers. So yeah, it's a serious round, and fires very, very well. Now you'll see we run into it sometimes. I don't know why, but every now and then out of the stock of this that we have, the primer's hit, but it doesn't ignite. And you can compare the primer strikes on the two, and they're the same. So I don't know why it's not firing. But sometimes that happens, so hopefully it doesn't happen much. But anyways, that's the ammo. Now, let's talk about this firearm, which is pretty cool, I think. So, the Galil ACE is like the full maturation of the AK that I have here. So if you were to take this and kind of, re-engineer it to answer any of the flaws that might be in the AK, that's what the Galil did and has done. The Gen 2 added a little bit better trigger, added some rail stock, and answered those kind of questions to make it a little bit more adaptable and modern. This weapon goes back quite a ways. Israel Arms, Israel Weapons Industry, IWI, they came up and manufactured a AK variant called the Galil. And there was one that was carried by the soldiers, and then there was also, they made, and I have a picture of it here, the Galil Arm, which is it's also the assault rifle, and it's also a machine gun. And so you can see it had a carrying handle, and it would sit on a bipod, and you'd set it up and use it as a mini machine gun. This weapon is used by a variety of countries, and probably the most notable where it's getting used right now. So Ukraine has authorized license to produce the Galil Gen II, and so it's getting used in the conflict with Russia right now. So interesting that this weapon is still in use. Of course, this is semi-automatic that I have. The weapon they're using is going to be have an automatic version to it, so not what I have. It does have the folding stock, it does have the rail, it does have the advanced trigger, it's got the dust covers, it's got a lot of aspects that, it's virtually the same as what the military is carrying, but this is only semi-automatic. So that's what we'll be shooting today. They only manufactured Galil in the 5.45 by 39 in a really small output. They made like 545 of them, and then they've stopped, and they have not reproduced them. So they made 545 in the 16-inch barrel, which is what we have, and also in a more of a pistol barrel, 8.38 of an inch. And so that's it. And then they've stopped, and they haven't made any more. So not a lot of these around, 545 of them. Thanks to my son for having a quick eye for this. They made an ACE sniper rifle, which is pretty much identical to the one the military is using, and this is for military, but it's in semi-automatic, and I think the trigger's a little bit advanced. Definitely a firearm with some history. Well, it's kind of cool to bring it out to the range, quite frankly. So let me run through the specs on this real quick, and then I'll give you a close-up view of it. It is semi-automatic, has a closed rotating bolt, long stroke gas piston. It's got a mag pull, so the magazine's just like an AK. The barrel's chrome lined, 16-inch, has a collapsible and folding stock. It weighs unloaded 8 pounds and 12 ounces, so almost 9 pounds. It has a 14-inch top rail. Close-up look at it. There's the Galil. You can see it's got a locking nut to fold it, and unfortunately I don't have enough strength to unlock it, so I get with Josh and find out where the unlocking mechanism is. And the bolt travels on the would be the left side of the firearm, whereas on the AK the bolt travels on the right side. The vortex optic on it, it's a crossfire, so it does have a safety. And it does have the, of course, it's got the front guard. It's got a flash suppressor. So yeah, it's got an ergonomic handle. All right, let me show the So here's the two comparison of the two bullets. So I don't know if you can see the difference that well, but that's the 5.45 by 3.9, and this is 7.62 by 3.9. So the same amount of powder, but look at the difference in the bullet size. So that's flying a little bit faster, 500 feet per second faster. And then let's look at this. So here's the Galil ARM. So that's the mini machine gun version. That's, you know, you would call it, I guess, the beginning of the Galil. This is the birth. Definitely a variant. You can see the similarities at that stage to the AK. And I can see why people would copy the AK. AK is like, my belief is, you know, super reliable. We're gonna get lined up and do a little shooting. Don't see it much during hunting season, so yeah, Lillie's out here. I've got some targets, so we'll shoot some steel with this, and then I have apples set up. Now the idea with the apples is when I shot some watermelons out here, I got volunteer watermelons to grow. So maybe if I shoot some apples, I'll get some apple trees on the property. I would not mind that. All right, that's the thought, but we'll shoot some apples if we can hit them. The gun is definitely more accurate than the shooter. Load up and then we'll shoot some apples. All right, let's go apple check real quick. That's it. That's the Galil. So, hey, we'll definitely bring this out in the range again. I know it's too good a gun to sit in the closet. Too much fun in it. But that's what I got for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Like I always say, make kindness your business. Do some kind for somebody. All it takes is a minute of your time, and the results can be amazing. Sometimes you can really change a person's heart just by little acts of kindness. Alright, I do appreciate it. For Dave and Lily, she's waiting for me to finish. We'll say out.